Hello fellow academics and welcome back to the next episode of Gearhaven. We're still in a bit of a food shortage. I guess with almost 60 beavers, our free farmhouses are just not quite holding up. Bit of a bummer, but I guess that's fine. I'm still glad we expanded up here because that definitely helped. And we're slowly making our way of adding a bit more, pathing system basically, or like a bit more of an area space down here to hopefully make something useful out of it. Need to see what we're gonna do. Could do another water dump here and then use that as additional farmland. I'm actually curious why you guys are never getting chopped. That explains it. All right. Which means I don't want you to be replanted. Cool. Anyways, we had expanded another farmhouse up here, which will definitely help us. And not entirely sure where there is a gap. So let's fill this up. We're slowly building up our irrigation barrier facilities up there. The big challenge that we have is, well, the open positions. Well, in addition to all the food issues. Actually, the kohlrabi up here came in, so that will ultimately help us as well. Can't get all the required materials. I guess I need to unpause the explosive factory. We do have a little bit of bad water left. Not a ton, but a little bit. And we need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 10 explosives to make all of that happen. But, you know, I think we should be able to pull that off. All right. Actually, food looks much better. Maybe it was the power supply down here. Because with the number cruncher, like pulling all of this in, like all the power, it was probably not enough to keep our fermenters going at a good speed. I mean, fermenter singular, I guess. Nobody else seems to be able to do anything. And I do think we just need to expand up here as well. So removing the replanting of the oak trees here whenever the next round comes along. So we can change this into cassavas. Cassavas will also help us overall, obviously, with our food supply. Right, we don't need this path. Not that I needed to delete it, but, you know, it can't hurt. Right, overall, we're doing good in terms of gears. We're doing good in terms of planks, and we're doing much better in terms of metal blocks. The path that we're currently taking and where we want to end up with is over here. We're halfway there with our gears and most of the way there with our metal blocks. We're definitely short on the explosives again because, well, I used them all up. So, oops. But this will give us a bit of extra space here, which I think our beavers will appreciate because that's where I can just add more food. And as we all know, beavers love food. I mean, who doesn't? All right. With that, we're kind of out of bad water. Excellent. Meaning we need to wait until this drought is over again. But besides that, nothing will really happen to our beavers. Like I mentioned before, our water supply down here is solid. So nothing to worry here. Might want to clean it up a little bit at some point. But yeah, not too worried about it for now. So let's see what else we can build. There's one thing that we could actually put in there in terms of food, and that is a coffee brewery. Now you also need power. Why does everything just need power? Yeah. And this is just honestly in a little bit of an awkward space. How big is actually the brewer? Of course you're this deep, so we can't place you here. Now, how can we add more of our steam engines without fully blocking all of our systems? I mean, we could technically add platforms here. It will allow us to connect this up, and then we have enough space for one steam engine here, and technically space for another building right next to it that needs power, and that could be a good spot for the coffee brewer. So let's actually do that. Right. We're going to immediately connect up the power here. I don't think it will flood. I'm saying that, but who knows? And then we're adding the steam engine here. Gears, metal blocks, and logs. We definitely have enough of these. And without turning our number cruncher back on, I should really just turn that one on overnight. Anyways, more micromanaging. I wish there was an automation step. I think I complained about this last week too. All right. We do have also, you can reach all of this up here. Not entirely sure why we decided we needed a staircase there. I guess why not? Don't need to run around there. Oh, you're a gatherer flag. You can even reach all of this. You're a lumberjack. That makes a bit more sense. I don't know if you could reach this without that staircase, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. All right. Making sure this one is actually on highest priority. Yeah. Oh, hold on. It's nighttime. Quick. I guess we almost have enough power to put a second number cruncher in. So we would have two of them working all night. And technically, to be honest, right here is also not a bad space for another number cruncher. Is the number cruncher for... it's a 4x4 building. So that will not work. I mean, we could make it work, run this around the back and stuff. But I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Right. We don't actually need this platform here, so I'm going to remove it so our beavers don't accidentally run into the shower of bad water that will come over this way. End of the day, resume our number cruncher. Yeah, we do definitely have now enough power to power a second one. So I think we'll actually do that. We'll actually make enough space here to place another number cruncher in. So let's go ahead. Just set all of this up. Actually, we don't need you two. Wait, if we don't need you two, we don't need you. Because we need to make sure we still have a path over this way. And then we can connect this up. And that actually brings us in a very different spot here for a staircase. Not that we really need it, but, you know, again, can't really hurt. All right, and we're clearing all of this out. This also will allow us to put a few more power-hungry buildings down here. Oh, it's daytime. Pause. And let me have another look. So this is where you would need to go. Which I guess means another mulligan on all the path here. There we go. Yes. Yes. delete you as well. That is actually in a much nicer spot overall. Right. So, it's not end of the day yet, but let's go ahead and place a second number cruncher down. Didn't quite expect today to build more of these, but I do think it'll be very beneficial for us. Right, there we go. We should have all the material that they need to actually build that, and yeah, we do. I don't quite know if they will finish it before the end of the day. I kind of doubt it, because lazy bombs. No, I'm just kidding. They're actually doing really well. Right, still, end of the day, high power for our number cruncher, and this way we're actually making our way slowly but steadily towards our goal of putting a bad water lid kind of on top of this. However, now that I think about it, how much is the mine is rough. Because we need to make sure we have enough scrap metal to build the mine. The mine actually doesn't need metal. Okay, never mind then. It's daytime again. Pause the number cruncher. Need to make sure we're also pausing this guy when it's done. You are still producing it. And I guess you guys are syncing it in here already. Yep, looking good. And actually almost done with this. However, as we've just seen, we do need the treated planks to actually build that mine up here. So I'm wondering if we should place a bit of storage up this way. A large industrial pile. Let's place 2 down for now. Might actually not be the worst idea. Set you are ready to treat the planks. 360. That will definitely get us enough for... Oh. I guess at least one number cruncher ran overnight. But yeah, the 360 will get us to the level that we need to build the mine. So storing this will always be a good thing. Now, in terms of gears, we also need more gear storage. I mean, it's slowly filling up. That's 400. We need 450. But now that we have extended this over, adding the added storage solution in there, not a problem. And I just saw something that I haven't tried out yet. With the new update, with the new patch, you can build paths over corners, which is pretty awesome. All right, both of them on. And we might even have enough power during a regular season without the steam engines. Well, they are kind of eating into our wood supply. We actually have a ton of wood supply already. And that doesn't seem to be disappearing, which I quite like. Right. You have nothing left to do, so it's time to sack you and time to activate you back there. I'm glad we have you active. Because, yeah, again, in the long run, it will help us a ton. Temporarily pause the number crunchers until the bad water is flowing, which is now. Unpause both of them. We're actually getting there in terms of power. Nice, we're there. Awesome. I mean, we still have all 3 of our steam engines running, but it's definitely a start. And you should... you're already topping this up. Perfect. Doing still okay in terms of food. Doing okay in terms of water. So all in all, not bad. Not bad at all. All right. I think this we want to move over 1 in the long run. And if we're keeping the this area technically open potentially for another source for food by filling this up with regular water. Maybe we want to keep the path on the levees and connect them in on the other side. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. One thing at a time. Flooded building? Yeah, ignore this. Flooded building. With the new updates, new badges came along. So they will all just pop in and out whenever something happens that I've definitely experienced before. All right. So we have all of this in. And one thing that we can do also make our beavers a little bit happier is no, let's actually not do that and just save up for the Badwater Dome. 300 gears, 150. We can speed that up though. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Even if it's temporary, let's add 2 more gear workshops. And hello, place. There we go. Nice priority on both of these. So we definitely get this up and running. Because metal blocks, we're at 117, and I think we needed 200. Yeah, I don't think there's much we can speed up with that. But science, at least, is flying now. So I'm very excited about that. All right. All of this is still doing fine. There doesn't seem to be any flooding anymore. I mean, it still hasn't balanced out. I wonder if we could make this a little bit better. How many dams do we actually have over here? Oh, I forgot I actually put in dams there. Right. Right, anyways, power is now flying, which means our number crunchers are working at their max capacity. That is always a good thing to see. All right. Now, long term, considering we'll be making metal blocks, scrap metal over here, might actually be nice to have our smelters somewhat closer by. Although the smelters are quite big. It could make a bit of space up here. But yeah, we'll see about that. Future worries. Okay. Nonetheless, we're, like I said, slowly making our way to that. How are we actually doing in terms of scrap metal? We do have a little bit of extra. So we could, in theory, place another smelter down to keep all of that just moving. Now, if we wanted to do that, where would we have the space to place a smelter? I think that is the bigger question. I mean, temporarily, we could place one here. Yeah, let's do that. Again, just want to make sure we're getting to the Badwater Dome as quick as possible. Which also means we should place a second scrap metaler over there. And already planning ahead, so we don't need to think about this anymore. But also in a staircase here, so they can wrap this up. Now, we're still low on beavers, which means instead of just doing all of that, it is time for us to look into the breeding pods. What did I do there? Not entirely sure. I guess that's all right. So, where would be a good spot for the breeding pods? I mean, technically, so here's the thing. We're making the extract up here. And we need the extract for the breeding pods. So we could just place all the breeding pods here. However, it's a bit of a wasteful area, I think. I mean, it's not too bad, to be honest. So let's go ahead. 1,000 science. That's fine. We do have the treated planks. Let's place 2 here, 2 here. Put a path in front of it. And you know what? Probably a stupid idea. But let's place 1 more in front. Because we currently have 4 regular ones. I'm gonna delete you already. I'm gonna delete you already. I'm not gonna wait for that one to finish. But these 2 can still finish. Look at that. They're in. Berries, we're doing okay. And extract, again, it's right next to it. Actually, hold on. We don't want to place you here. We're gonna put you here. Because then we have enough space for a medium-sized water tank that we place there, and you can store our extract. All right. Are you done yet? You're not done yet. Come on. I guess this took some of our metal blocks out. It's fine, it's fine. And seeing how far it is to there, I wonder if we should actually add a staircase kind of up there. Yeah, future worries. Wait, what are you missing actually? Planks? That I didn't quite expect. We're really low on planks. Alright. Pause our treated plank production facility. Now you should be done. Yep, you are done. Let's delete you. We're gonna wait until you're done. Reading halted. Yeah, you haven't gotten the extract yet. All there. Just needs to be sorted out by our haulers. At least I'm pretty sure we have haulers. Alright, there we go. Prioritize you as well. We do want to make sure our baby beavers are being continuously produced. All right. The smelter is in. You are kind of not quite producing. Yeah. Because we are lacking scrap metal. But that we can solve. I guess the bigger issue right now is that we don't have enough beavers to do all the jobs that need to be done. One of the reasons I think why we're lacking planks is because we added the additional gear workshops. Yep, that is the case. I'm gonna add a second one in here. You have 2 people in there. You can't actually do anything because we don't have canola. You're technically waiting for mushrooms, which is all right. 14 beaver openings. Crazy. All right, let's delete you as well. We will actually remove that berry storage from here and add 2 up there. Because this will be much closer to our breeding pods, and that should help with streamlining the entire situation. All right. Food's still doing okay. Water's still doing okay. Our bad water is doing really well at the moment, which is good. We do have 4 injured beavers. I forgot if we actually have... I think we have 1 medical bed. I feel a bit bad. Oh, here we go. Medical bed. 1, 2, 3. Price priority, please. pretty good expansion, if I may say so myself. All right, drought is incoming. That's another one of those. Excellent. Now we're still... Why are you... Wait. I will pause some of our builder huts. Do we not have a hauler station? We might not have haulers. Crazy. Alright. But ultimately all of that should help us. We do now have 5 breeding pods, so technically our population should increase. And the nice thing with these is we don't need to wait until they can actually help support the colony. They should get right into this. Alright, you are still lacking scrap metal. That's mostly because you're a lazy bum and don't get over there that quick. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, having a better spot for them would actually be quite good. I mean, technically we're planning on putting them up here. Like the scrap metal will come from here. Now we could bridge over this way. Make it a bit shorter that way to get to the scrap metal. But this guy at least. And this guy, you're almost as far away as you could possibly be. Oh my, oh my. But yeah, anyways. You're doing your job. You're also, we're almost, I think, at the explosive level that we need. So, coming along. And you still don't have enough mushrooms. I guess actually you do. You have the berries here. And no mushrooms stored in there. I wonder if we just need more mushroom storage. The top ones I wanted to save for the algae, technically. But maybe we just need more mushrooms. Oh. Maybe. Right. Future worries, I want to say. But this expansion here, definitely helpful. Also makes me think maybe we should include more power. Hold on. We're in a drought. We don't need our number crunchers anymore at all. Good. I guess again, we could just micromanage it overnight. Do we need to? I don't think so. Actually, we do have a ton of science. And, well, at the moment, just lacking the material and technically the manpower to do all that we need to do. Our last baby beaver is about to grow up, though. Crazy. And then all of these, actually some of you have already produced adult beavers, I would say. 7 injured beavers. Ooh. Let's go ahead and make a bit more space here. We can add a few more medical beds in there. Detonate one more. Having the dynamite ready is very, very convenient. So convenient. Alright. But again, overall, the food supply has stabilized and we didn't need to worry about the water at all lately. So I would call that overall a win. Where are you? Medical bed right here. Do you actually need power? you don't need power. You just need some extract. So we could make our beavers happier again. Yeah, don't think we need to do that right now. At least they are running around now. That is good. I'd like to see that. But look at the distance they have to bridge. That is insane. So yeah, I think we should already build a pathway down here. Maybe we'll build it up there. Let's see. If we have a staircase here. Pause. We can add staircase there. Pause. And then another single staircase right next to it. Around the corner. There's there. Also need to pause you. Actually, do we want to keep an opening here? I think that is the big question. Because then we want to make sure we can go one further up. So we can walk out this way. Maybe we don't, though. I will unlock the triple platform now. Pause this. Yeah, let's keep it simple. And by simple, of course, I mean absolutely convoluted. Oh, wait, we're already up there. Okay. Okay, not bad. That actually won't take too long to build. So let's unpause all of these. Which one? I guess this one. There we go. All we need to do is connect this in. Oh. Now this way they will have a much shorter path to basically get here, also to this area, which in the long run, I think will definitely benefit from. All right. But overall, with that, I'm going to call it an episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.